This is the exact opposite of what great leaders do. Great leaders discover what is universal and capitalize on it. Their job is to rally people toward a better future. Leaders can succeed in this only when they can cut through differences of race, sex, age, nationality, and personality, and, using stories and celebrating heroes, tap into those very few needs we all share. The job of a manager, meanwhile, is to turn one person's particular talent into performance. Managers will succeed only when they can identify and deploy the differences among people, challenging each employee to excel in his or her own way. This doesn't mean a leader can't be a manager, or vice versa. But to excel at one or both, you must be aware of the very different skills each role requires. The elusive one thing. It's bold to characterize anything as the explanation or solution. So it's a risky move to make such definitive assertions as, "This is the one thing all great managers do." But with enough research and focus, it is possible to identify that elusive one thing. I like to think of the concept of one thing as a controlling insight. Controlling insights don't explain all outcomes or events. They serve as the best explanation for the greatest number of events. Such insights help you know which of your actions will have the most far-reaching influence in virtually every situation. For a concept to emerge as the single controlling insight, it must pass 3 tests. First, it must be applicable across a wide range of situations. Take leadership as an example. Lately, much has been made of the notion that there is no one best way to lead, and that instead, the most effective leadership style depends on the circumstance. While there is no doubt that different situations require different actions from a leader, that doesn't mean the most insightful thing you can say about leadership is that it's situational. With enough focus, you can identify the one thing that underpins successful leadership across all situations and all styles. Second, a controlling insight must serve as a multiplier. In any equation, some factors will have only an additive value. When you focus your actions on these factors, you see some incremental improvement. The controlling insight should be more powerful. It should show you how to get exponential improvement. For example, good managing is the result of a combination of many actions: selecting talented employees, setting clear expectations, catching people doing things right, and so on, but none of these factors qualifies as the one thing that great managers do, because even when done well, these actions merely prevent managers from chasing their best employees away. Finally, the controlling insight must guide action. It must point to precise things that can be done to create better outcomes more consistently. Insights that managers can act on, rather than simply ruminate over, are the ones that can make all the difference. The game of chess. What does the chess game look like in action? When I visited Michelle Miller, the manager who opened Walgreens' 4,000th store, I found the wall of her back office papered with work schedules. Michelle's store in Redondo Beach, California, employs people with sharply different skills and potentially disruptive differences in personality. A critical part of her job, therefore, is to put people into roles and shifts that will allow them to shine, and to avoid putting clashing personalities together.